friends, is how you start a Wreck Bike Rebuild episode. Welcome to episode 20 of Wreck Bike Rebuild Season 2, The Reveal. Show me some love with that like button if you like the way the bike turned out. Now, let's talk about some mods. So as you can tell, we have done a ton of stuff to this motorcycle. Now in this video, I don't want to go into crazy detail about what it took for us to get the bike to this point and running. There's an entire playlist of the Wreck Bike Rebuild show Season 2. If you want to watch the full thing, link is in the description for the full playlist. What I wanted to do in this video is to highlight all of the upgrades that have gone into this ZX10. Now first off, and probably most noticeable, is the custom fairings that we have on the bike. If you guys are long-term fans of the channel, you've probably heard me talk about the company Monster Fairings before. They've been my go-to aftermarket fairing company for what seems like forever now. I've had Monster Fairings on multiple of my bikes, and that's where I got this set. I literally just sent them a couple images that I painted in Photoshop, and they sent the fairings over custom painted and everything. It is absolutely awesome. What's sad is I had a really cool time lapse of me and Brian going through the entire fairing process, and somehow the SD card failed. So I have no footage of us actually putting the fairings on. Trust me, my heart was ripped out when I found out the SD card failed. But it is what it is. The fairings are on now, and I think they look absolutely fantastic. If you guys are looking to upgrade the look of your motorcycle, there's not really many things you can do that change the look as much as changing the fairings out. As long as you have a sport bike and not anything else, because fairings all over the place. Next up, to go with these awesome custom fairings, is the powder coating job that we got done by a local shop here in Atlanta. Obviously the wheels and a couple other small bits we got painted that highlighter color. Those things stick out really well. But what doesn't stick out really well is the powder coating that we got done on the forks. The forks had these little green pieces that kind of match the Kawasaki green, which makes total sense. We got them powder coated the same color gray as the fairings. That way everything fits in really well and nothing sticks out. Fun fact, the same shop that powder coated the pieces on the bike also painted the tank. Now protecting this beautiful piece of art is a full, and I mean full, set of Woodcraft sliders. What that includes is the rear axle slider, front axle slider, frame slider, and we even went the extra mile and got the engine plates that have the included sliders. That way, if somehow the frame sliders don't work, the engine plates have these replaceable sliders that you can just pop on and off, and that way your engine plates are going to be protected. Moving towards the rear of the bike, you guys are going to notice the Light Tech rear wheel adjusters. These things make it super simple to adjust your rear wheel. When you need to adjust your rear wheel, you need to adjust for chain slack and stuff like that. I've never had a pair of these on my own personal motorcycle, but after installing them on the Wreck Bike Rebuild bike, let's just say I got a shopping list going on. Next up, and kind of obviously, is the Graves exhaust that we've got on. It is a full system Graves, and the reason I went with a full system Graves exhaust is because when I was designing the bike out, I wanted the tail to be super clean, and if you guys have looked into any 2017 ZX10s, most of the exhaust are attached to the rear passenger peg and they're high mounted, and it makes the tail not look as clean. I didn't really want that look, so the exhaust I was going for was low mounted. I wanted to have a good performance gain, and of course, it had to sound good. The Graves ended up being the one to go with. Now, when you are looking into exhaust on your bikes, it's typically recommended that you get your ECU flashed. We got an ECU tuner and tuned this bike's ECU specifically to a full system Graves for this year model bike. And let me tell you, not only does it sound good, but this bike will haul butt. So, in order to keep the rear clean on the bike, we had to grab these RG Racing rear passenger peg plates. They basically cover the holes that are left there for the rear passenger pegs. If you look on the left side, you're going to notice an Öhlins adjuster. And yes, this bike has a brand new Öhlins shock in it. And I love the fact that that placement ended up being perfect for the adjuster. And if somebody's looking at your bike, because whoever gets this bike, people gonna be looking at it. Trust me, while filming, I got a lot of looks. Anyway, Öhlins shock on the outside is going to let everybody know that's looking at the bike, hey, underneath that rider, there is a very nice and very expensive shock. So it ended up being the perfect spot to use for it. Moving towards the middle of the bike, you're going to notice the Sargent Seat, the tank pad, and the R&G Performance tank sliders. Now, originally I got these carbon fiber tank sliders just in case the bike went down. I wanted plenty of protection on there, but after installing them, I ended up loving the fact that this carbon fiber broke up all of the gray on the side of the bike. Moving down a little bit, you're also going to notice the Woodcraft rear sets. And yeah, You think we're gonna be able to put all this Woodcraft protection on the bike and not have Woodcraft rear sets? Come on, get in the game. But seriously though, if you're gonna build a quality motorcycle and you want to use the best parts you can find, it is really hard to get a better company than Woodcraft when it comes to rear sets. So moving to the front of the bike, you're gonna notice that we have this driven bar guard on the left side with a CRG carbon fiber clutch. If we jump over to the right side, you're gonna notice the shorty black ASV lever for the brakes, and we also have an aero mirror on that side as well. We've also got black driven grips on this bike, and if you jump to the front side, you're gonna notice that we've used driven as well for the reservoirs on this bike. On top of the tank, instead of the stock gas cap, we've replaced it with a Vortex gas cap. The sprocket and chain set also came from Vortex. So finally, moving to the front of the bike, we have the mirror block-off plates as well as the LEDs that we installed on the bike. Now, if you guys have ever seen a ZX10, they have the mirrors on the front fairing. So if you remove those, there's giant holes. I'm not about that, and I love the fact that I was able to get a black block-off plate and cap it with the highlighter color piece of metal. I love the look of that little section. Also, the LEDs that we installed on this bike are bright as heck. Between the LEDs and the highlighter powder coating, whoever ends up with this bike will be seen. I can be absolutely sure of that. And my friends, that is the final bike for season 2 of Wrecked Bike Rebuild. If you guys have any questions about the parts or any of the process, I'm gonna be down in the comment section a little after this video is live, and I'll answer as much as I absolutely can. If you check the description, I'll leave a link for all of the parts that I can find in the description. That way, if you have any questions about it, you could check out the links directly. Overall, guys, seeing the bike finished up, I don't think it could have turned out any better. I also got to say a huge thanks to the people over on Patreon who help support this show and make the documenting process possible. If you guys are watching the show and you enjoyed it, go click that link over to the Patreon page and consider joining the community and helping support this show become even better. We're doing really cool stuff over there, and it would be awesome to have you part of the community for future episodes and seasons of Wrecked Bike Rebuild. So guys, in the coming weeks, you're probably gonna see a couple more videos of this motorcycle as we get it given away and I do the first ride, and a couple more videos like that for the season 2 bike of Wrecked Bike Rebuild. Afterwards, we're gonna be rolling straight into season 3 with a brand new wrecked bike. Wish us luck. Guys, huge shout out one last time to my people over on Patreon, or you guys that just make sure you watch every Wrecked Bike Rebuild episode. If it wasn't for the support I get from all of you guys, I wouldn't be able to produce the show, especially at the quality level that we try to do. And I really appreciate it. And guys, I'm Chaseontwowheels. I appreciate you so much. You guys go out there and ride positive, and I will see you on the next one.